Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kevin McGahey. It is opening night 2005. Upper St. Clair Panthers ladies volleyball, with the Panthers tonight hosting the Gators of Gateway High School. We're just about to get underway. This is game number one of a best-of-5 match. You might remember from last year, this is a rally scoring. The game goes to 25 points. First one to 25 by 2 is the winner. Katie Kennedy, number 2 for the Panthers, will start off the serving. Short, into the net. That net's 29.5 feet away. That one only went about 27.5. So the Gators get first blood. Over by Alex Davin. Dug out nicely by the Gators. Katie Kennedy with the set. To Allie McLean, and unable to be handled nicely by the Gators. With the attempt, that was Tracy Jovanovic for the Gateway Gators. Not quite able to handle that nice attack by Allie McLean. Allie up with the serve now, number 3. Into the net, and that will be an ace. Gators unable to handle that serve. 2 now for the Panthers, 1 for the Gators. Allie McLean continues with the serve. Over nicely handled by the Gators over. Alex Davin. Set, Katie Kennedy, Caitlin McGahey into the net. Panther into the net that time. Point goes to the Gators. Substitutions coming on the floor. Number 12 for the Gators, that's Amy Connolly. And up with the serve, that'll be number 6, Jonah Antonelli. 2-2 the score very early in the first game of this best-of-5 match. Caitlin McGahey over the top and finds the polyurethane, puts her right down on the floor in front of the Gators. Not quite quick enough to dig that one out, and Caitlin gets the benefit of the serve, captures the point, and gets the serve. Nice knuckle serve over. Handled, not able to be handled by the Gators. Into the antenna on the far side of the court. Doesn't quite count as an ace. It's a point nonetheless, and that makes it 4-2 Panthers. Decent start for the ladies. More easily handled that time by number 6, Jonah Antonelli. The bad news was it went out the side of her wrist, out of bounds. Point to the Panthers, and Caitlin McGahey continues with the serve. Down, dug out nicely again by the Gators, but no follow-up on that one. Score 6-2 now, Panthers. Nice 4-point run. Caitlin McGahey continues with the serve. And sort of handcuffed number 10. That was Amy Shimonovich there. Handcuffed her. Might have been a bit of a knuckle on that. She was expecting a spin on that serve that didn't quite happen. 7-2 Panthers. 5 points run in a row by Caitlin McGahey. Lofts nice and high. Handled by the Gators. Caitlin McGahey picks it up. Set to Katie Kennedy. And Stephanie Jones with the attack. Picked up by Joan Antonelli, number 6. Set again, Katie Kennedy to Alex Davin. Well saved by the Gators. Pooched over on the third ball. Caitlin McGahey comes out with it to Katie Kennedy. Allie McLean off the net. Handled again by the Gators. 4 hits that time. Didn't quite make it over in time. Number 12, Amy Connolly had a shot at it, but not quite there. 4 hits, point to the Panthers, and now 8-2 on a very nice 6-point run. You'll note something new in Whoopie volleyball this year. The Panthers will be using a libero. The Panthers will be using what's called a libero this time. You'll see one of the players come out with a different colored jersey. A libero can freely substitute whenever they want on the back line. They're in there for a defensive substitution only. May not play the front line, and we'll go a little bit further into this as the game progresses. But right now, Panthers are up 8-2 with Caitlin McGahee still serving. She's got a nice 6-point run going here. Let's see if the Panthers can keep it up. Something was amiss here. Could be a substitution problem or a shift problem in the Gateway side. The officials are sorting it out. Sometimes back from where I am, I can't exactly tell what's going on, but it does appear to be a placement problem. Nope, no point awarded. It's a redo, a reserve. Score stands at 8-2 still. Caitlin McGahee continues with the serve, handled by the Gators. Attack blocked nicely by Emily Mueller. But not that time. Number 10, Amy Shimonovich, off the block of Emily Mueller. Onto the St. Clair side, point for Gateway. Gateway's 3 now, serving the Panthers at 8. This is game 1 of a best-of-5 match. Nice dying quail of a serve, set to Katie Kennedy. Over to Stephanie Jones, off the block. Oh, nice strike by Amy Shimonovich, but a little bit long. That side of the court's only 29.5 feet long. She hit it about 35. Side out, serve to the Panthers. Number 1, Alex Davin, up now with the serve for the Panthers. Classic bump, set, attack. And there's the libero. You see the different colored jersey by Christina Zanuck, who's come into the game. And you'll see senior Christina freely come in and out of that back line with defensive help. The set was a little bit off. Emily Mueller had a little bit tough time coming up with that ball. Drops on the St. Clair side, point for Gateway. Panthers lead 9-4. That's a short serve. It's a bit of a gift, but we'll take it, and it's still early in the match. You can't expect a lot of those to happen, but it does give a nice point to the Panthers now at 10-4. Number 12 for the Panthers, Stephanie Jones, now serving. And another short one. Maybe what we got is a pocket of high gravity there at the net line. It's sucking balls down toward the floor. That's 2 short serves in a row, so copious substitutions here for the Gators. Joan Antonelli's now off the floor. Amy Connolly's off the floor. That's on number 2, Annie Dudley doing the serving chores for the Gators. Allie McLean with the attack, a bit long. Over the end line, point to Gateway. 6 for them now, 10 for the Panthers. Annie Dudley continues the serve. Over nicely, nothing too complicated about that. And a 2-ball over the net by Katie Kennedy. Now that can be a nice surprise move. People are expecting that 2-ball to be set up and have somebody wallop it down. But that doesn't always happen, and sometimes just like that time, Katie Kennedy found an opening right there in the middle of the defense. That's what they call the donut. For point Panthers, 11-6. Emily Mueller with the serve, number 18. Blocked by Caitlin McGahee. Comes back over. Katie Kennedy with the serve, and the slide move by Caitlin McGahee didn't fool anybody. Gators picked it up. Sort of a push set by number 10, Amy Shimonovich. Shoves it over the back line. Point to the Panthers again, and that gives Emily Mueller the chance to do the serve again. And you'll note, if you see that back line, no red jersey, no Christina Zanuck this time. And Emily finds a spot where nobody was standing. Gators unable to handle it. It drops in for a, well, I guess you could call that an ace, making the score now 13-6 Panthers. Nice block dug out very nicely by Stephanie Jones. Set by Katie Kennedy, over by Allie McLean. 3-ball just pooched over by the Gators. Emily Mueller handles it to Katie Kennedy. And Gateway gets charge of that thing. That was number 9, Andrea Sassy, who picked that one up and dumped it right back in the corner. The magic here is to hit them where they ain't. She did just that, and it's now 13-7 Panthers. That one struck the net. Net is okay in this game. That first serve may hit the net and continue over. Block, place block right there by Caitlin McGahee. One of the taller players on the team stretched right over and put that ball right back on the Gateway side of the floor. Point St. Clair, 14-7. Katie Kennedy now with the serve, number 2. Oh, a bit of an overpass by the Gators right into the net. The front line, number 11, that was Maria Wallace, unable to handle that set. Bit of an overpass mistake by them. We'll take it. Katie Kennedy again with the serve. Dug out nicely by the Gators. Amy Shimonovich again gets it over. That was Christina Zanuck playing the libero position again to Stephanie Jones. Classic bump, set, attack. Number 5, Tracy Jovanovich into the net for the Gators. Point to the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Another nice little run going on here. Makes a score in game 1 of this best-of-5 match 16-7. Katie Kennedy once again with a serve. Annie Dudley picks it up. Oh, number 13. That was Alex Polinsky for the Gateway Gators, finding some paint there. Put that ball down right on the outside line. 8 now for the Gators, 16 for the Panthers. Nice top spin serve dug out of there by Megan McLean, who's on the floor now for the Panthers. And that's her sister Allie. Had a nice angle shot at it, angle attack. A little too much on it, went out of bounds. Point to the Gators. Tracy Jovanovich with the serve. Megan McLean with the left-handed attack attempt. Falls short into the net. One more point for the Gators, makes it 16-10 now. 6-point lead for the Panthers. Still in game 1 of this best-of-5 match. Game goes to 25, and you have to win by 2. Tracy Jovanovich with the serve again for the Gators. Nice strong serve. Katie Kennedy with the bump. Who's got it? Drops in the middle. You want to hit them where they ain't, but not on your own side. That's one of those balls somebody should have had. You want to see the girls diving for balls. You want to see them getting on the floor to go after things like that. You can't have any of these I got it, you got it things. Dug out by Stephanie Jones. Megan McLean with the bump and put over by Christina Zanuck to the Gators. Handled nicely. Amy Shimonovich dumped that over. Allie McLean that time. Got to be a 3-ball for the Gators. Christina Zanuck to Katie Kennedy to Allie McLean. Had some power on that one. Tracy Jovanovich gave it a good effort for the Gateway Gators. Unable to come up with it, heads out of bounds. Side out and point to the Panthers. The scoring means on every serve, somebody gets a point. Not like the old days when old guys like me played games to 15 where you could only score on your serve. A point is scored on every serve at this level. Allie McLean with the overhead serve. Handled by the Gators. Dug out nicely by Katie Kennedy. Stephanie Jones picks that one up and tosses it over. Picked up nicely by the Gators. Well done, an out-of-bounds type play. Caitlin McGahee over the top. Not quite enough power on it. A block into the net for the Gators. Oh, Stephanie Jones with the attack attempt from the left side. Comes up just a little bit short. Ball goes back over to the serve for the Gators. With a score of Panthers 17, Gators 12. Jonah Antonelli doing the serving chores for the Gators. And that comes up a little bit short. If that net's 8 feet tall, that one was only about 7 feet 10. Didn't quite make it over the tape. That brings us back to Caitlin McGahee doing the serving for the Panthers. She had a nice run earlier in the match. Let's see if she can put something else together here. Oh, very nice block. Emily Mueller puts it right back on the floor on the Gateway side. Nicely done by Emily Mueller. Point St. Clair, that's 19-12 now. Caitlin McGahee once again with the serve. Handled nicely by the Gators. Dug out of there by Allie McLean. And put back, attempted to be put back over by Allie McLean. A bit of a mix-up there. Allie probably could have left it for Stephanie Jones. Ball falls on the St. Clair side. It's 19-13 Panthers. That's number 11, Maria Wallace. Serving for the Gators. A little too much spin on it. Puts it off to the side, out of bounds. Serve goes back over to the Panthers. This will be number 1, Alex Davin. Serving for the Panthers at 20-13. Another 7'10" serve into the net. Well, it is opening night. We've seen a lot of serves into the net here. I imagine it's a sort of first game, first match jitters. as both teams have had some problems getting the serves consistently over the net. Scores 20-14. Gateway serving. Oh, fooled Alex Davin a little bit. Ace for the Gators. I think Alex zigged when she should have zagged. It's 20-15. Number 8, this is Kelly O'Neill doing the serving for the Gateway Gators. Still game 1 of a best-of-5 match, 20-15. 25 points is a game. Another serve into the tape. My goodness. Well, I imagine the coaches are going to have something to say about this in practice tomorrow. Point for the Panthers, 21-15 with Stephanie Jones now. Sophomore Stephanie Jones doing the serving. Handled nicely by Gateway. Maria Wallace with the set. Oh, right into the donut. Nobody standing there. That's what you want to do. Two things. You want to hit them where they ain't, on the other side of the floor, and we weren't there. And it's good to see the girls diving for the balls. You definitely want that. Jonah Antonelli and Amy Connolly out of the game now for the Gators and doing the serving back to Annie Dudley. Christina Zanuck with the bump. Stephanie Jones with the recovery, and Katie Kennedy over the top with a nice top spin on it. And there you had an overset right into the Gateway net. Sort of a jailbreak type point by the Panthers, but it worked. 22-16 Panthers with Emily Mueller now, sophomore Emily doing the serving. Tracy Jovanovich for the Gators with a nice attack. Frontline attack by Allie McLean. Off the right hand of Amy Shimonovich. A little too much on it. Allie got up for that one, had a nice touch to it. Off a Gator hand. That sounds weird, a Gator hand. And 23-16 for the Panthers. Emily Mueller keeps with a serve. High set. Amy Shimonovich with the attack attempt again. A little bit too much on it, out of bounds. And now we're at game point. In game 1 of this best-of-5 match, 24 for the Panthers to 16 for Gateway. Emily Mueller with the serve again. Nice high serve, nothing complicated about that. There's a nice dig by Alex Davin. And back over by Alex. Stephanie Jones dug that one out nicely. Wasn't sure how close to the line it was, but went off a wrist a little bit, over the net, but out of bounds. Point to Gateway. 17 for the Gators, serving 24 for the Panthers, and this can still be game point. Remember, there's a point scored on every serve, and there's one more gift from the Gators. So our first match ends 25 for the Panthers, 17 for the Gators. That's only one game of a best-of-5 match. More to come. Welcome back. We're about to enter game 2 of this best-of-5 match here on Thursday, September 8th, between the Gators of Gateway and the Panthers of Upper St. Clair. The Panthers took the first game of this 5-game match, 25-17. The Gators get the first serve in game number 2. Oh, once we get the lineup straight here, that is. Starting for the Panthers, it looks like Alex Davin, Stephanie Jones, Christina Zanuck, Allie McLean, Katie Kennedy, and Caitlin McGahee. Maria Wallace serving for the Gators. Picked up by the Panthers and over by Allie McLean. Picked up by number 9. That's Andrea Sassy. Set by Katie Kennedy, and Allie McLean went off the bottom of her wrist, looks like. She had a good look at it. Just came up a little bit short off her wrist into the net, and the first point in game number 2 goes to the Gators. Maria Wallace again with a serve. And that is just a bit long, 29.5 feet on that side of the court, and it went about 30.5. Ties the score up early in game number 2 here at 1-1. Katie Kennedy for the Panthers with the serve. Over on the first ball by the Gators, Katie Kennedy with the serve to Caitlin McGahee, and off number 5, that's Tracy Jovanovich's wrist. Amy Jovanovic with the attack, Katie Kennedy to Allie McLean. Somebody was standing right there. They're picked up nicely by the Gators. Number 15, that was Sydney Lucas on the floor for the Gators. Had kind of an awkward look at it. She had a bit of a twist to get around to face the net, hit it into the net. on her own side. Point to the Panthers. Katie Kennedy with a nice dying serve right there. And there's that 2-ball dunk shot again. Maria Wallace did that for the Gators this time. It fooled us. We used one in the first game. People anticipate that you're going to use that second ball as a set to an attacker to come up with an attack. But in that case, they dumped it right over and on the floor. Kelly O'Neill with the serve for the Gators. Thought that would be a bit of an overpass. Somebody was under the net. Looks like a Gator from Gateway was into the net. Substitution on the floor for the Gators. Number 14, Katie Rose. Kelly O'Neill going off now. Allie McLean for the Panthers with the serve. Panthers leading right now 3-2 early in game number 2 of this best-of-5 set. Number 5, oh, well dug up by Stephanie Jones after Tracy Jovanovic for the Gators. Thought she had one there. Another little dump shot into the middle, picked up by the Panthers again. Alex Davin to the back row, picked up by Maria Wallace of the Gators. Tracy Jovanovic hoisted over that time. Katie Kennedy to Stephanie Jones into the block. Kennedy again to Alex Davin and finds a spot on the floor. Nice recovery there, and as you probably saw, you can play the ball off a block. It doesn't add up to a fourth hit. Once you've hit the block, the number of hits you get starts over. Panthers stay with the ball, pick up a point there, 4-2. Allie McLean now, senior Allie with the serve. Tracy Jovanovic over, picked up nicely by Allie to Katie Kennedy to Stephanie Jones off a block. A bit of a confusion there, but the Gators came up with it, got it over. Slide play, Caitlin McGahey picked up nicely by Maria Wallace of the Gators. Tracy Jovanovic over, there's the libero again, that's Christina Zanuck. Stephanie Jones again off a block, and this time that block disrupted the flow just enough to confuse Tracy Jovanovic. She wasn't quite able to pick it up. Lands on the floor. Point Panthers 5-2 now. Allie McLean continues with the serve. Oh, number 9. That's Andrea Sassy. Plays off the block and falls right smack in the middle of everybody. Point for the Gators that time. Annie Dudley and Alex Polinsky now on the floor for the Gators. They have a fairly large team over there and use a lot of substitutions. Basically, right now, the Panthers have substituted a 1. Along with the libero, of course. That's Christina Zanuck to Katie Kennedy to Caitlin McGahey. Dug out by Katie Rose of the Gators. Katie Kennedy with the set again to Stephanie Jones. Wow, nicely picked up by Annie Dudley of the Gators. Nice high set by Katie Kennedy. Stephanie Jones off a double block. And out of bounds, point to the Panthers. 6-3 now the score. Caitlin McGahey gets to set up with the serve. She had a very nice run in game 1. 7 points in a row. Let's see if she can't put something together here. Handled nicely by the Gators. Tracy Jovanovic with the attempt. She was standing probably a little too far back from the net. Didn't quite get up high enough to get over that 8-foot net into the tape. Point to the Panthers, 7-3. Caitlin McGahey continues with the serve. Nice short set. Maria Wallace to Alex Polinsky. I think that's play number 1. That nice short set can be a fool or two. People expecting a little more time between set and attack. Worked out great for the Gators, 7-4. Andrea Sassy with the serve. Nice attempt to dig that ball out by Alex Davin. Got it to Katie Kennedy for the second hit. Wasn't quite able to get it over the net. Point for the Gators, 7-5 now. Andrea Sassy again with the serve. A lot too much on it this time. 29.5 feet on that side of the floor. Win an extra 10. 8-5 Panthers with Alex Davin now. Handling the serving chores. Nice overhand toss handled by Katie Rose. Tracy Jovanovic shoves it back over. Emily Mueller picks it up on another bit of a jailbreak of a point there. Emily Mueller puts it where nobody was standing and gets the nice point. It's 9-5 Panthers now here in game number 2. Alex Davin once again with the serve. And that one goes a bit long. Got to keep Alex out of the weight room, I guess. 9-6. Panthers leading the Gators right now. Another substitution for Gateway on the floor. Amy Shimonovich subbing for Katie Rose. Tracy Jovanovic with the serve. Katie Kennedy there picks it up to Stephanie Jones off a block. Not quite. That ended up being 4. It took 4 hits to travel 29.5 feet. You saw Gateway on the floor digging after the ball. A few too many people there. Not enough to get it over. 10-6 Panthers. Stephanie Jones with the serve. Oh, that was very nicely done, actually. Alex Polinsky for the Gators put it right on the tape. Fooled the Panthers. They pick up a point. Alex goes off the floor, as does Annie Dudley. Serve goes back over to the Gators with a point, of course. 10-7 now. Panthers over the Gators. Kelly O'Neill with the serving now. Oops, sorry, that's Jonah Antonelli with the serve. Set by Katie Kennedy to Emily Mueller. Back row attack by the Gators, lands in. Looks like it landed on the back line from here. The back row attack works, fooled the Panthers a little bit. 2 in a row for the Gators, makes the score now. Panthers 10, Gators 8. Jonah Antonelli once again with the serve. And it comes up a bit short again. We should have been totaling these up to see how many gifts there's been. It's been either way. It's been going both sides. With short serves coming up, let's see if Emily can get it over this time. Sort of a curving knuckle serve. Sydney Lucas into the St. Clair block. And the return bump lands out of bounds. Point to the Panthers. Emily Mueller once again with the serve. Very nicely done, actually. I don't know if she planned it that way, but the Gators got a big assist from the net there as Amy Shimonovich just rolled it 5 feet down the top of the net. Lands on the Panthers side. Point Gators. Panthers 12, Gators 9 right now. Maria Wallace with the serve. Stephanie Jones, bump, set, and attacked by Allie McLean. Doesn't quite get over the net. She needed about another 12 inches on that one to get it up and over. The Gators are creeping back in this game. 12-10 now. Stephanie Jones with a bump to set to Caitlin McGahee off the block and finds its way down to the polyurethane finish on the gateway side. Point for the Panthers, 13-10. Substitution for the Panthers. That's the sophomore Megan McLean now on the floor for Alex Devin. Now there's one that worked. Oh my. Well, I thought that was another serve headed to the net by Katie Kennedy. Turns out gravity was working in her favor. It rolls over the net and barely dents the floor. Point for the Panthers at 14-10. Amy Shimonovich dumps it over the net. Katie Kennedy with the set to Allie McLean. The overpass by the Gators comes out fine for them. They figure out a way to make that one work. Back set Gators. Handled nicely by the Panthers. Megan McLean on the set to Caitlin McGahee. Comes right back at him on the one ball. Let's try it again. Allie McLean this time. The set Megan McLean to her sister Allie, number 3. Finds its way to an empty spot on the gateway side. Looks like a point for the Gators. Looks like one of the Panthers was in the net on that. Could have been Allie McLean. I was blocked on the play by the referee, but the serve got in the point. Belonged to Gateway. Kelly O'Neill with the serve. A chester for Stephanie Jones, who will run up her arms into her chest. Oh, that one was in. Tracy Jovanovic with the attack that time. Sort of fooled Christina Zanuck. And with the score 14-12, we'll take a quick timeout here and be right back. We're back after the timeout. That's Gateway serving now. The Panthers leading 14-12. Up to Caitlin McGahee. Dug, oh, and a place block. Caitlin gets up high over the net with a place block down to the floor. Point for the Panthers, making it 15-12 now. This is game number 2 of a 5-game match. The Panthers won the first game of the match, 25-17, and lead here by 3 in the second game. A game goes to 25, and you have to win by 2. You hear me say this a lot. There are a lot of sophomores on the Panthers this year. There's 2 seniors. Serving Allie McLean right there is one. Christina Zanuck in the red libero jerseys the other. Nice try by the Gators that time. Didn't quite make it over the net. He got the 3 hits of it, needed another 2 feet in it. Senior Allie McLean again with the serve. A nice dying serve. Dug out by the Gators. Pooched over on the 3 ball. Katie Kennedy with the set to Caitlin McGahee. Picked up by the Gators and blocked again by Caitlin McGahee. Right back on the floor. That's 2 in a row there. Well, not 2 in a row, 2 out of 3. But that's Caitlin getting up high to block that one. Looks like a timeout taken by the Gateway Gators with a score 17-12. We'll be right back. We're back in action here. The St. Clair Panthers have the serve. Senior Allie McLean doing the serve again. This will be her 3rd in a row. Oh! It looked like Jonah Antonelli was going to pick that up for the Gators. She thought better of it, and sure enough, lands about 3 feet out of bounds. Looks like we may have to get Allie out of the weight room, too. Point and serve to the Gators. 17-13. Panthers lead right now. Annie Dudley handling the serving chores for the Gators. Another Chester by Stephanie Jones, and nicely dug out by Katie Kennedy, and just oozed over the net that time, but it works. Christina Zanuck to Katie Kennedy. Caitlin McGahee just into the block. Gateway did a good job of scrambling to get that ball after it took a couple of weird bounces, but it ends up in the net on the Gateway side. Point to the Upper St. Clair Panthers, and Caitlin McGahee is rewarded with the serve here at 18-13. Nice top spin on that serve. Set into the net. Off the block, Katie Kennedy digs it out to Megan McLean. Emily Mueller right back in the corner where nobody was standing. She hit it where they ain't. Drops in again. Point for the Panthers now 19-13 with Caitlin McGahee continuing the serving chores. Another decent top spin serve handled nicely by the Gators. Tracy Jovanovic up and over the net that time for the Gators. Falls right in front of Caitlin McGahee. Point and side out for the Gators at now 19 for the Panthers, 14 for Gateway. Andrea Sassy now doing the serving chores for the Panthers. Comes up about 4 inches short again. One more serve into the net. Another point for the Panthers. Is now 2014 substitution on the floor. Megan McLean goes out now. She's a sophomore. And sophomore Alex Davin comes in and handles the serving chores. Number 1. Another serve that goes just long, about a foot long that time. I'm sure Alex was excited to be in there. Didn't know quite her own strength and put it just over the back line. Side out and point for the Gators. Tracy Jovanovic now with the serve for the Gators. Dying quail of a serve nicely dug out by Allie McLean. Stephanie Jones up high to get that. Over on the 2 ball, out of bounds by the Gators off to the Panthers side. Point for Upper St. Clair. 21-15. Stephanie Jones rewarded with the serving chores. 25 points is a game. Top spin serve lands out of bounds. So Stephanie had a good idea there to try to hit it at the feet of the back row players, but put it a little bit too far off to the side. More substitutions for the Gators. Number 6 on the floor, that's Jonah Antonelli back on the floor, as is Sydney Lucas, number 15, playing the front line. Jonah Antonelli now with the serving chores. Good strong serve, dug out by Alex Davin. Stephanie Jones to Allie McLean. The angle attack goes off the wrist of Amy Shimonovich for the Gateway Gators. She made a nice try at it, but was caught a little bit off balance. Heads back over the back line, point to the Upper St. Clair Panthers. There's a libero substitution. Christina Zanuck, number 4, goes out. Caitlin McGahee, number 11, comes in. Another sophomore. Here's sophomore Emily Mueller. Over with the serve to the Gators. Jonah Antonelli hoists it over successfully. Allie McLean. That's playable. That actually hit the ceiling, and those balls are playable in this gym. Ceiling is inbounds. They couldn't handle it on the downhill side. Trickles off an arm and out of bounds. Point and serve continues to the Panthers, now 23-16 with sophomore Emily Mueller continuing with the serve. Oh, substitution for the Gators. Alex Pomiechko. Hope I pronounced that correctly. On for the Gators. Emily Mueller, sophomore, with the serve. And goes off the side of her wrist. Looked to be a good idea at the time, but trickles just out of bounds. Point and serve to the Gators. Panthers still hold the lead at 23-17. And the game is 25. 2 more points only needed by the Panthers to end the second one. Tracy Jovanovic back on the floor. Alex Pomiechko off. Only on for 1 point. That's Maria Wallace with the serve. Katie Kennedy with the set to Allie McLean. Almost got that one. Trickled off a block. Gators handle it nicely. And in fact, Amy Shimonovich for the Gators finds the back corner. Christina Zanuck just not quick enough to get there. Point to the Gators. Score now 23-18. Maria Wallace with the serve again. Dug out by Stephanie Jones. Saved by Katie Kennedy to Caitlin McGahee. Picked up again by the Gators. Christina Zanuck to Katie Kennedy. When the slide move to Caitlin McGahee works like a charm. That's a difficult move. Katie Kennedy's got to set that thing right back over her head. Caitlin works on the footwork, comes around just in the nick of time to get an angle attack and find an open spot on the floor. It's exactly what we did. And that brings us to game point. Katie Kennedy with the serve. Good set by the Gators. Andrea Sassi puts it into the net, though, and that finishes up game number 2 of this best-of-3 match. The Upper St. Clair wins this one 25-18 to go with their win in the first match at 25-17. And we'll be back in just a minute for game number 3 of this best-of-5 match. We are back. I know you barely noticed that in real time watching Channel 7 here because there was no break at all, but for us that was a 3-minute time out between games of this match. We're about to start up game number 3 of this best-of-5 match between the Upper St. Clair varsity women's basketball and the Gators of Gateway. Sophomore Katie Kennedy will be starting off doing the serving chores for the Panthers. And she dives for that one. Caitlin McGahee puts it right over the net. Oh my goodness, Katie Rose for the Gators had a nice shot at it, but put it right in her mush off her wrist. A little bit of a face plant there. Panthers draw first blood in game 3. Katie Kennedy again with the serve. Well, that kind of worked for the Gators. That was Tracy Jovanovic who got up nice and high and put it off the St. Clair block. And when it changed direction, it fell right in the donut, right in the middle of everybody there. The Panthers unable to get it. Tie score 1-1. Still very early. Game number 3 of this best-of-5 match. Powerful serve by by Tracy Jovanovic. For the Gators, lands right in the corner. The libero might have had a dive at that, but I'm sure she thought it was out of bounds. Tracy Jovanovic again with a serve. This may be the first lead the Gators have had. That time she was shooting for the other corner. Didn't quite make it. Remember that court down one side of the court's 29.5 feet long. That one went about 32.5. Senior Allie McLean now for the Panthers with a serve at 2-2. Number 10, that was Amy Shimonovich for the Gators. Up nice and high. Catching the Panthers a little bit flat-footed here. Falls right in the donut for a very nicely done attack by the Gators. They've got the lead right now, 3-2, with Jonah Antonelli. That's number 6 back there at the back line. Handling the serving chores for the Gators. Dumps it right over. Very tough for the Panthers to get. Nobody was standing there. Oh, they do make it back over. I thought maybe that would drop in. Caitlin McGahee gets the top spin over the net, and there's that pass I thought might have gone too long. Picked up nicely by the Gators. Christina Zanuck to Caitlin McGahee, who just tips it right over, keeps the ball in play. Ooh, boy, off to Caitlin McGahee block. That's number 12. That's Amy Connolly. For the Gators, playing it nicely off the block into a spot where nobody was standing. 4-2 for the Gators right now, early in game 3 of this best-of-5 match. Christina Zanuck picks it up nicely to Katie Kennedy. Stephanie Jones with the attack off the Gateway block. Finds an empty spot in the back left corner of the Gateway side. Point and serve to Upper St. Clair. There's that free substitution. Christina Zanuck, the libero, heads off the floor. Emily Mueller, sophomore, on the floor. Caitlin McGahee, another sophomore, with the serve. Nice top spin. That pass was almost too far. Emily Mueller to Stephanie Jones. Allie McLean gets it back in with a nice top spin. Allie digs one out right there. Stephanie Jones again. A little push shot attempt by Tracy Jovanovic of the Gators. Comes up a little bit short. She had a kind of a bad angle at it. She made a nice effort at it. didn't quite get under it enough, and Caitlin McGahee serves again, her second. Dumps it into a bit of an empty spot. Over on the two ball, Emily Mueller with the stretch. Caitlin with the bump. Katie Kennedy with the set. Stephanie Jones with a dump over off a gateway block and out of bounds on their side. Point to the St. Clair Panthers, and they grab their first lead of game 3 of this best of 5 match at 5-4. Caitlin McGahee with yet another serve. Oh, that one comes up short, way short, about 3 feet short. And sophomore Caitlin subs out senior Christina Zanuck back on the floor. Maria Wallace now serving for the Gators to Allie McLean. Picks it up nicely. Katie Kennedy with the set. Back to Allie and over. The stretch for the Gators nicely dug out with the one-hand pass. Allie McLean, that was unexpected. Caught him by surprise there. Tracy Jovanovic made a nice dig at it, but Allie McLean put it right in a great spot on the first ball. Nobody was anticipating that, and sure enough, point for the Panthers and serve to sophomore Alex Davin. Lovely block by Emily Mueller and Stephanie Jones there. Let's see what's up this time. One of the Gators, I couldn't see from here, was blocked. One of the Gators into the net. Point for the Panthers, making it now 7-5, and sophomore Alex Davin continues the serving. Nicely dug out by Christina Zanuck, set to Stephanie Jones, over on the backside attack, back line attack by Allie McLean. That was really cleverly done. Amy Shimonovich for the Gators hoisted it over and found an open spot just in front of the back row at the feet of Alex Davin. Panthers still lead 7-6 now, with Kelly O'Neill of the Gators handling the serving chores. Knuckle boy, you can see that thing move from here. It's just like a Tim Wakefield knuckleball as that one heads over. Back to the back line, recovered by the Gators. A nice attack there, Alex Davin to Christina Zanuck. Allie McLean over the top. Not much they can do with that one. They're lucky to keep the ball in play. And there's one where you pick it up, Judd. It oozes, it sort of lurches right over the net. Katie Kennedy picked that one up and shoved it right back into the open spot, into the donut of the Gators. Katie Rose checks in now for the Gateway Gators. Kelly O'Neill off the floor. Stephanie Jones with the over-the-top powerful serve. Dug out nicely by Gianna Antonelli. That one a little bit too much on that one. She got her hand out nicely, but it must have fallen off her wrist, or she was a little bit off balance. Ball goes over the net, out of bounds. Point and serve to the Panthers. Stephanie Jones, another sophomore, handling those serving chores. Just whacks into the top of the net. Again, I think that's the first one of this third game of the set. But we've certainly had a lot of short serves in the 3 games we've seen so far. Amy Dudley now with the serve for the Gators. Trailing by 2, 9-7. Third game of the 5-set match. Alex Davin to Katie Kennedy. Emily Mueller lofts it to the back row. Handled by the Gators. Oh, that's one of those I thought you had it, I got it type of a things, and it rolls off the arm of Gator Tracy Jovanovic. Serve goes back to the Panthers. Score 10-7. Substitution for the Panthers. Caitlin McGahee, sophomore, number 11, back on the floor, and libero Christina Zanuck, senior, takes a seat. Emily Mueller with the serve. A classic bump, set, attack off a St. Clair block. Number 5, Tracy Jovanovic, did that very nicely with a lot of power on it. Off the block, lands out of bounds. Point and serve to the Gators. Kelly O'Neill handling the serve once again. Alex Davin picks that up to the setter, Katie Kennedy. Back row attack by Stephanie Jones. Works. Many times those back row attacks don't find the open spot. Stephanie had a good top spin on that one. Landed right at the feet of Annie Dudley. Not much she could do with it, actually. Point and serve to the Panthers. That brings Katie Kennedy up for the serve, with the Panthers leading 11-8. Once again, that's Tracy Jovanovic with the attack. Caitlin McGahee just punches it over that time, keeping the ball in play. And that time, that was a nice idea. Somebody wasn't in the right position. Maria Wallace had the nice set to basically nobody. I think they're running that slide play that a back set would have worked better, but point to the Panthers, and 12-8, Katie Kennedy keeps with the serve. Katie Rose just got the ball over that time. Katie Kennedy and Allie McLean Just dumps the ball over. Didn't fool anybody that time, though. Oh, that time, that set went a little bit long. It was one of those cross net sets that lands just at the feet of the umpire. Out of bounds, side out, and serve to the Panthers, leading 13-8. And we'll take a quick timeout here and be right back. We are back after a quick timeout. I know no real time elapsed for you on Channel 7, but there it was. We did take a quick timeout here. The Gators took time to collect their thoughts. Katie Kennedy continues the serve now. It's her third with the Panthers leading 13-8. Katie Rose dug that one out nicely. Back to Tracy Jovanovic, who's had a stellar game for the Gators with that angle attack and put it right at the feet of Allie McLean. Point and serve for the Gators. And Tracy's rewarded with the serve. 13-9, Panthers over the Gators. Powerful knuckle serve, handled nicely by Stephanie Jones. Oh, now in the game, this is a new player we haven't seen before, left-hander Mina Babin getting her shot at a varsity assignment here. Wasn't quite able to handle it. The set really wasn't where she could have used it, but the point goes over to the Gators, 13-10. And there's another one into the net. A nice serve with power by Tracy Jovanovic, but not quite high enough to make it over. Allie McLean Sr. now with the serve, and that one was really nice. I'm sure Tracy Jovanovic had a choice to make. It looked like it could have been right on the line. She dove for it, made a nice effort at it, but it trickled off her wrist, out of bounds, point to the Panthers. I guess you could call that an ace. 15-10 now, Panthers. Senior Allie McLean serving once again. That's one with power right there. Alex Polinsky. And the unfortunate part is no St. Clair woman dove for that one. One of those back row people has to at least make an effort to try to get under that one and keep it alive. Easy serve, they saw that. In fact, there was no one standing right there. It's an ace for the Gators. Jonah Antonelli saw that one coming, and Stephanie Jones just couldn't get to it fast enough. That's two in a row for the Gators, so with 15-12 now. Panthers with a 3-point lead. Tries the same thing, but Stephanie Jones is ready for it that time. Back set to Allie McLean off a block and handled by the Gators. Here it comes right back. Allie McLean picks it up. Katie Kennedy with the set to Stephanie Jones off a block. Almost. That was Tracy Jovanovic. It was very difficult coming back at her like that. It wasn't quite high enough for her to get under it to make it a nice back row attack. She made a good effort at it, didn't quite get over. Point and serve to the Panthers. 16-12 now. 4-point lead for the Panthers. Standard substitution now. Alex Corey, another sophomore, number 6, enters the game. Caitlin McGahee, number 11, out. So first we've seen Alex in this match. Had the attempt at the serve, rolled a little bit off her wrist, out of bounds. Point to the Gators, and the serve goes right back over to them, trailing by 3 to the Panthers, 16-13. Maria Wallace with the serve. Nice strong serve picked up by Allie McLean. Katie Kennedy with the set to Stephanie Jones. Alex Corey picks it up off the back line. Katie Kennedy again. Once more to Stephanie Jones. Picked up, dug out nicely by the Gators. The little block by Emily Mueller. Off the hands of Amy Connolly of the Gators, out of bounds. Panther substitution, Alex Davin back on the floor. Mina Babin goes out, and Alex takes over the serving chores. Point and serve to the Panthers at 17-13. Sophomore Alex Davin with the serve. Very nicely set up for Amy Shimonovich that time. She got up nice and high, but it must have trickled off her wrist and into the net. On what otherwise was a very nice looking attack play. 18-13 Panthers now. Alex Davin once again with a knuckle serve. Allie McLean kind of got caught looking there. Looked like her feet were nailed to the floor. Tracy Jovanovic then with the angle attack, which the Gators have used many, many times tonight. I should think we'd be ready for that by now. That she comes, sets up on that left-hand side, gets up over the net and angles it right down in that space between the front and back lines. There's Allie with the bump, the set, The slide by Emily Mueller fools everybody. Well, that slide play, it's just like you get the whole defense shifting in that direction, thinking that that attack is going to come right down the line. And when Emily actually angles it back, it's a nice misdirection. One more point for the Panthers, making it 19-14 for the Gators. Stephanie Jones with the serve, another sophomore, number 12. And there's that play again. Tracy Jovanovic coming over the top with that angle attack, this time a little bit too strong. Heads well out of bounds. Point to the Panthers, and now we're getting close in this third game of the match. Should the Panthers be good enough, lucky enough to win this one, that would be 3 in a row and the match would be over. We got 5 points to match point here. However, that's not one of them. I think I might have jinxed her. Stephanie Jones puts one into the tape again. That'll be a good practice topic for this week. 2 substitutions for the Gators. I saw one of them. That brings Alex Polinsky back on the court. And Annie Dudley handling the serving chores for the Gators. Puts it over, dug out by Stephanie Jones. The set over to Allie McLean and finds a spot on the back row. That time the Gators weren't moving their feet. Sounds odd, doesn't it? The Gators moving their feet. But I guess that is what happens, and the point and serve go back to the Upper St. Clair Panthers at 21-15. Sophomore Emily Mueller handling the serving chores. This hoists it over, puts the ball in play. Good set. Oh, a nice block by Kayla McGahee. He sends the ball back to the Gateway side. Tracy Jovanovic digs it out and gets it over. Back row attack by Stephanie Jones. Lands just inside that back corner. There's been a couple of nice back row attacks by the Panthers tonight. That one works for Stephanie from way back. Emily Mueller, sophomore, continues with the serve at 22-15. That one was mishandled a little bit by Amy Shimonovich. She had a good look at it, but it kind of rolled off her fingertips into an empty space where nobody was standing. That brings the Upper St. Clair Panthers 2 points from a big win here. Number 14, it's Katie Rose on the floor for the Gateway Gators. This could be quite an event for the Upper St. Clair Panthers. From a team, and there I jinxed her again. Emily Mueller off her wrist, hits it just out of bounds. Panthers still with a 7-point lead at 23-16 in game number 3 of this best-of-5 match. Stephanie Jones digs it out to Megan McLean. The slide play. Caitlin McGahee gets on top of it, but hoisted just out of bounds. I was about to say it a little bit before. Last year, the Upper St. Clair Panthers went 1-9, and this, if they could come up with a win in this first match, that matches last year's total, and now we are at match point. One more serve into the net by the Gators, now 24-17. This is right here is match point in game 3 of this best-of-5 match. Left-handed sophomore Megan McLean with a serve just a little bit too much. About 2 feet 3 inches long, over the back line, out of bounds. Serve and point go back to the Gators. Tracy Jovanovic, number 5, serving for Gateway with power. Picked up by Christina Zanuck. Allie McLean didn't quite get enough of it that time. That was from her sister Megan, number 15. Could have been a little bit better set, I think. Allie was caught a little bit off guard. Panthers still with a 5-point lead and basically 5 match points. Another good hard serve by Gateway. Megan McLean too. Christina Zanuck, whose job it is to get that third ball over. Got it over, but just wide. Lands about 3 feet out of bounds. And the Gateway Gators are creeping back into this thing. Tracy Jovanovic again with the serve. With a 4-point deficit, 24-20. Alex Davin, sophomore there, had a little bit tough decision, had a little bit tough way to decide what to do with that thing. And Jen Hughes from Upper St. Clair calls a timeout, trying to calm everybody down. They just capture this last point. We'll be right back after this quick timeout at 24-21. Well, that was a quick timeout. Only about 10 seconds elapsed. I think Jen Hughes called a timeout just to settle everybody down. Seemed like the St. Clair Panthers are panicking here with 1 point to go in the match. They do not want to let Gateway edge back into this. There's one dug out, just over. Stephanie Jones digs it out, but doesn't quite get it to anybody. It ends up out of bounds. But you still want to see one of the St. Clair girls running for that ball. Somebody should have been tearing for that thing and seeing that they could recover it from out of the sidelines. That would have been Megan McLean or her sister Allie. And here we are. Gateway's crept back into this thing at 24-22. It just takes one more point for the Panthers. Alex Davin, Stephanie Jones. They have to get it over now. All right, the ball's in play. Let's see what can happen now. Amy Shimonovich. Caitlin McGahee, and there it is. Caitlin McGahee finishes it off with an attack off the hands of Andrea Sassy of Gateway. Gateway made it exciting. They made it very interesting coming back in this third game, but that is it. Game, set, and match. St. Clair wins 25-22 for their first win. This is a non-conference victory over the Gateway Gators. And that's a nice start to the 2005 season, having a first win under our belts. The three scores, 25-17 Panthers, 25-18, and 25-22. And the home crowd goes home happy. Well, this has been Kevin McGahee with opening night at Upper St. Clair Panthers Volleyball, and my camera person has been Layla Russitano. We'll be back here next Thursday, September 15th, for the next home game. See you then.